I guess we'll start. Hi, my name's Steve Kwan, and on the call we have Tim Hesselsweet and Carl Meyer, and this is Genius Wednesdays, presented by Coin Genius. Our topic today, which has been a major driver in cryptocurrency and blockchain throughout the past year, especially the past 6 months, has been the talk of Brexit. What will they do? What won't they do? When is it happening? Who's doing what? So, with United Kingdom general elections happening on Thursday, December 12th, 2019, which is in about 6 hours, and I believe the polls open in 13 hours from now. I think it's a worthwhile topic to show a few charts and talk about this. And my opening statement would be I'm not making a call on whether Bitcoin and blockchain are going to move up or down. Rather, want to inform people that based on my metrics and my research, a large scale move will be happening in Bitcoin and blockchain in the next 24 hours. Large scale, meaning at least 6% either way. Now I'll move on to some charts and pictures. I don't know if everyone can see. Tim and Carl, can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for those that can't, I'll try to explain. Those that can, you can see this. So in March, this was when Brexit was supposed to finish the 2-year period after the initial referendum. Obviously, there was no finality on this, and we can see that Britain not leaving the EU at that point caused a large rally in Bitcoin. A large rally being 4,000 to 5,200 in about a 28-hour span. So that's 29%. I'd say that's considered a large scale move. Now, moving on to the next one. This is early October of 2019, so just a few months ago. This was the will they, won't they push and pull of, okay, time's running out. What are we going to do? Bitcoin, and Bitcoin represents close to 90% of most US dollar blockchain moves. Bitcoin dropped from 10,500 to 7,900 in a week. I would say that's a large scale move. Then when they kind of pushed the proverbial can down the road, a few weeks later, what happened? Well, it rallied from 7,500 to 10,200. As I said, I'm not making a call on whether Bitcoin and blockchain will rally $500 or $1,000 or will fall 500 or 1,000 or more dollars. I simply think that this is worthwhile to let the listeners and readers and subscribers to Coin Genius be aware that there will be a large scale move happening in very, very short order. Moving on, I just put a 1-year chart up of Bitcoin so everyone can see. Low being 3,300, high being 13,500. The midpoint is about $8,000, and here we sit at 7,200. So for all else, this is right in the middle of the bell curve. Next, here's a 1-year chart of the British pound. Low being 119, high being 133, current is 132. And the midpoint here is 125. So above average, and you'll see why am I showing the British pound versus Bitcoin? Well, you'll see. Now, this is a 2-year correlation chart the red and green candles are the pound. The blue line is Bitcoin. And for a while, they were both moving lower and lower and lower in tandem. What happened? Well, in March, when they pushed the proverbial can down the road, the pound stopped going down and Bitcoin took off for a monster rally from 3,300 to almost 13,000. Then we look here as the deadline for the October secondary referendum came about, they started diverging. And you've had the pound on a sharp rally over the past few months and Bitcoin in a precipitous fall, so to speak. And tomorrow will be a key point in time to see whether this pattern continues or fails. But like I said, I don't want to tell people or make a call. I'm simply saying tomorrow is one of those game-changing events where whatever the new trend is, if it continues to diverge and you have the pound rally and Bitcoin go down, that's going to continue to be the trend. If you start to have them move in tandem, up or down, that will be the new trend. Now, here I overlaid the pound over 1 year, and as you can see, once there was another event that occurred during this time, and also it's interesting, there's a Federal Reserve meeting this week in the US. So you not only have one major event, but you have two major events, and the Federal Reserve basically underperforming also became a driver in Bitcoin's sell-off in the late summer. So I would alert the readers and listeners to two major events this week, one being the UK elections, and second being the FOMC meeting. And here I've just kind of zoomed these in so you can see a shorter time frame. Once again, pound increasing, Bitcoin decreasing. Let's go even shorter time. 3-month, Bitcoin down 30%, pound up 10%. So we're getting the picture here. And finally, I just priced this out in, this is just simply Bitcoin priced in pounds. You can see that their numbers are they're nice, even numbers. The high was 10,500. Support is 5,000. It's currently 54.74 priced in pounds. So 5,000 pound Bitcoin equates to $600 less, which is 6,600 in US dollars. These would be all of my charts. And I guess my key themes to alert people to, rather than telling people what to do, whether they should buy, hold, or short, I don't like to tell people. I simply like to present information to others and make them aware of major events. So you have two of them, UK elections and FOMC. So buyer beware, seller beware. This is the information that's happening, and I would say that a large scale move is coming. And that would be it for my prepared statements. And here, I'll show you guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, let's see. And the here, so everyone can see December 11th calendar. Sorry, here, I'll just pull this up so everyone can see it. Central bank calendar. That's today. So today and tomorrow. Sorry, I misspoke. I said Friday, but yes, today Federal Reserve. Tomorrow European Central Bank and Brexit and UK general elections. So I would not expect Bitcoin or blockchain to be in the same place it is in 48 hours from now. And I would open up the floor to anyone else with any other insights, comments, or questions. I know it's the holiday season, so we may have more or less people than normal, but those are my thoughts. And like I said, I would definitely put an alert out immediately, just informing people of that these three events have moved markets in blockchain significantly this year. And you have all three of these events happening in the next 24 hours. The first of which is going to happen in about 45 minutes.
Thanks, Steve. To look at the state of the markets and where things are, the total crypto market cap is right now at 197 billion. The CoinGenius 15 index has risen a little less than 1% over the past week since our last Genius Wednesday. To echo the volatility expectation, the volatility index on a range of 0 to 100 is now at 27. So volatility is low. So that definitely could proceed. Volatility tends to wax and wane, and with these events coming, crypto is likely to pick a direction and make a volatility expansion move. So the technical makeup of the market is ripe for that as well. The other thing that stands out to me is that the breadth index of the CoinGenius 15, which is the 15 largest cryptos by market cap, is at 69%. So breadth continues to be fairly positive in the market, at the same time that we have this this compression and volatility. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out.
I can't see. I do know what you're talking about, Tim, and what I've experienced in my career following volatility and options in pretty much most every market known to most investors, commodities, currencies, fixed income, blockchain, equities, is there's historically a quote unquote calm before the storm where volatility is compressed. You start to hear people say, oh, equities are never going to move again. Currencies are dead. Bitcoin's stuck at 7,200. It's not. They're not. And like I said, I agree with you that something is coming with these three events, and I would alert people to them immediately. And as we say that, I'm messaging Jeremy and Christina to put out a live notification.
That is something that I will write this afternoon. So
Okay.
On it, yeah.
Well, I was thinking if they can just put something out, especially if there's a Federal Reserve meeting. I know with the holidays, oftentimes people, may not really be focusing on their portfolios as much, but I can assure you that those with managed funds, they don't sleep. There's an algorithm or a computer or a person watching every market that every one of these listeners is involved in, and they will try to get you going the wrong way. Whether that's up, down, left, or right, I don't know, but I would emphasize this again, that the blockchain index and Bitcoin will not be in the same place on Friday as it is today, and there'll be a significant change. Which change that is, I can't see the future, but at least 6% one way or the other. Mr. Meyer, any comments, thoughts, concerns, questions?
No, not really. Sorry, I'm slightly busy at the moment. I'm just listening. My fault.
Sorry, that's my dog. I don't know if you can hear him or not, but I know this is kind of a short Genius Wednesday. If there is, if
That's
there
okay. The
are
holidays
any,
are coming up and stuff, so it's a little bit harder for people to attend.
that's fine. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I would rather just here, I don't need to be presenting anymore since there's nothing to present, but I would rather just someone put out a live notification, for instance, that here, I'll tell you guys the exact time. I generally think it's 1 o'clock, but let me just double check. The central bank. 1 o'clock. Yes. So in 40 minutes, you have the FOMC announcement. So I need to go a few minutes prior to then at least, but this would be my, I guess, conclusion if no one else has anything to add. It was more of just an alert and just trying to show some charts that these things do cause moves, and you put 3 events in a short time frame with the holidays and probably less market participants, thinner markets, larger moves, and Bitcoin may drop 7%, rally 7%, and end up here, but in any event, there'll be some opportunities for those looking.
Yeah, that's great.
Sounds good, guys.
Good synopsis.
That's probably good for this week.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming to Genius Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
appreciate it, Steve.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.